Hi everyone, and welcome to this Google Drive Basics program. My name is Leah, and today we will be discussing and practicing some of the features accessible to you within Google Drive. You may utilize this presentation in a variety of ways, following along and engaging with the interactive tasks throughout, watching first and then practicing later, whichever works best for you and your learning style. Feel free to pause the video at any time and/or replay sections that you need help or more practice with. There may be accessibility settings for this video that you wish to enable or change, such as closed captioning and playback speed. If you would like a copy of the slides, you can request a digital link and/or a paper copy from the Adult Services Department. You will need to have a Google account created to access Google Drive. If you are going to follow along and practice as we go, you will want to be logged into your Google account. If you are not logged in, go ahead and pause the video, log in, and then come back. If you are viewing now and practicing later, it is up to you if you want to be logged in or not. Let's get started. Google Drive is a form of cloud-based storage. And you may have heard this term cloud storage before, but what does it actually mean? Cloud storage is a service model in which data is transmitted and stored on remote storage systems where it is maintained, managed, backed up, and made available to users over a network, which is typically the internet. You'll see that on the right side of our screen, I'm logged into a Google Drive, and as we go throughout the program, I will live demo some of the tasks that we're going to do together. The sidebar, which you'll see a screenshot of on the slide, and right here on the right where I'm logged into Drive, the sidebar is a resource for different features within Google Drive. It helps you easily navigate different things, and there are explanations of the features on the slide that you can read through to get a better understanding of what each of those offers. Next, we are going to break down several tasks within the folders and files category. So the first thing we're going to practice is how to create a folder within your Google Drive. Follow along and create a folder if you'd like. Again, feel free to pause the video at any time and/or replay a section that you need more help or practice with. So within Google Drive, you can upload files and folders from your computer to Google Drive. This allows you to access these files and folders from any device if you're logged in with your Google Drive account. So how we're going to create a new folder is select New in the top left of the screen. So I'm going to select New, and then it's going to give us this drop down. We are going to create a folder, so I'm going to click New Folder, which is the top option after you select New. And it will give us the option to name our file or folder. So for this example, we're going to use resume and cover letters as our folder name. And then I'm going to click create, and it will add that folder to our Google Drive. So as you can see on the right hand side, I made a new folder, titled it resume and cover letters, entered the name, hit create, and then there it is. So this slide just explains how to name a folder. So again, you'll get a pop-up box asking you if you want to name the folder, and you type in the name and then select create. Again, feel free to pause the video at any time to practice. If you want to practice or create a few folders right now, pause and come back. If you want to keep going, here we go. Another option within folders and files is to upload existing materials from your device. If you click the red New tab, as we did before, you should see options to upload a folder or file. So in the next kind of section, file upload or folder upload. Clicking either of those will allow you to access files or folders from your device. You can select one or multiple, and then the option to open or upload. So I'm going to click File Upload, and it's going to generate files from my computer. I can select one or both, and I can select both by holding down the control button and clicking or using my down arrow to select both. And then I'm going to click Open. And you'll see a message that it's uploading that item or items to your Google Drive. So for example, if I made a folder like I did for resume and cover letters, and I want to upload my resume and cover letter from my computer, I can repeat that process to get them in that folder. And then if when you upload, it does not go right into the folder, worst thing you can do, worst case scenario, is just drag it and it will appear in the folder. So again, you can select one or multiple files or folders to upload using the control button if you want to select multiple at a time. So those examples were all based on already having a file or folder created that you wanted to upload. But you can also utilize Google Drive to add or create files. So another way to utilize the New button within Google Drive is to select New and then look at the options below: Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, Forms, or more. If you're unfamiliar with Google Docs, Sheets, Slides, and Forms, they are very similar to Microsoft programs such as Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, etc. So let's say that I have not created a resume and I want to add a resume to my resume and cover letters folder. I could do that within Google Docs. So I could click Google Docs and it will open up a new tab. And then I could work on my resume. I could title it my resume. And I could move it to my resume and cover letter folder. So again, just some examples of how you can upload existing folders or files or create new within your Google Drive. The next thing we're going to talk about is share settings. So if you want more practice with creating files or folders, go ahead and pause and come back when you're ready. If you're ready to move on to share settings, we're going to discuss that now. Google Drive allows users to share files and folders through email and through Google Drive. To share a file or folder, you first need to select it and then select the image of the person with the plus sign. So I'm going to go to my resume and cover letters folder. I'm going to select it. And then I'm going to click share. And again, it's the person with the little plus sign. So let's say I want to share it with the Westerville Library. I'm going to enter in the email address of the person that I want to share it with, and then select what type of settings they have. Share settings are very important to consider. So you can select people to be an editor, a viewer, or a commenter. So the nature of how you want to share depends on the project or what you're doing. For example, if I'm sharing my resume, I do not want anybody to be able to edit what I have. So I would want them to just be a viewer. If I'm submitting for feedback, however, I may want somebody to be a commenter to add comments without changing my original text. If I'm working on a collaborative resume for myself or getting feedback from my supervisor and I want them to make changes, I would make them an editor. Selecting this notify people button will send an email notification once you click send that something has been shared with that person. If you are somebody who frequently uses Google Drive and the person or people you're sharing with frequently utilize Google Drive, they may not need that notification, but it may be a good practice just to get in the habit of selecting that to send. There's a deeper explanation of the viewing, commenting, and editing on the slide. Take a look and think about what type of setting you might want to share with someone. Another way to share, instead of entering the email address, is that I could copy a link to share with the person. So in the bottom left corner here, I could click copy link. I get a notification that it was copied. And then if I wanted to email this directly to someone, I could log into my email, create a new email, and email them the link. Again, you're going to want to check the share settings to make sure that how you're sharing it is in the capacity that you wish to. Again, some things to consider when sharing: confidentiality of whatever you're sharing, and you're going to want to select the sharing option that best fits the file and the users. Another option, as I discussed earlier, is that you may have things shared with you from other people that you need to access. And if they have not selected the notify people button that we just discussed, you will not get an email. So something to get in the habit of is checking your Google Drive for things that have been shared with you. And you can do that by going to the sidebar and selecting the shared with me button. If you have any questions as we move throughout, write them down. There will be some help videos and additional resources that I talk about at the end where you might be able to answer some of those questions. Again, if you need to pause the video and practice those couple things, take your time, do what you need, and come back. The next several slides contain additional resources. And again, if you had questions that you thought of throughout this presentation, these resources may be able to help you answer those questions. Or if you feel like you need more support in accessing and using Google Drive, these resources may be helpful for you. This slide contains links to help videos, Google Drive Beginner's Guide, detailed tutorial, and tutorial for beginners that you can access. There are QR codes if you know how to scan those, or the shortened links via Bitly. Some other resources for Google Drive help and Google Docs editors help. And if there's a specific skill you're looking to get some help with, there are 4 links that are specific there that are shortened via Bitly that you can use to answer any of your questions. And I encourage you to practice and play around with some of these tasks that we have just discussed. If you would like a copy of the slides, you can request the digital link and or a paper copy from the Adult Services Department at the Westerville Public Library. You can also visit the library's events page to learn more about future technology training classes that will be offered. If you would like to make an appointment to come into the library and practice Google Drive with the librarian, you can call or visit the library's website to schedule a borrow a librarian appointment. Hopefully you feel more confident in using Google Drive and some of its features. I appreciate you attending today's session and hope that you feel it was informational. Thank you.